Hey everybody, Davenport here. I hope we are recording. Try to get rid of this window here. There we go. We are on YouTube today, coming back, doing some, trying to straighten these glasses out has really been a hassle, I'll tell you. We can just bend those things every which way here. Um, Back on YouTube, doing kind of an introduction to Alternative Public Radio International. Um, we are doing a lot of things to the network, making some changes, upgrading some software, building some new apps and different things. We've got our QR codes that are going out there, which will allow you to scan your telephone in order to find our station, or stations, or missions, or programs, or projects, or special events, or whatever. It's a very interesting, it's very interesting technology. Let me say that. Um, you can find us out there on a lot of platforms. My producer just handed me this notebook here. We're out there on All Poetry, all 7 pages of Facebook, personal page equal Marion on Facebook. Many of you know my producer and best friend Marion Pound. We're on Pinterest, Twitter, Weebly, Wix, WordPress, Audio Boom, Blogger, Tumblr. This looks like Instagram, Scribd, Mixcloud, and of course, Blog Talk Radio. Those are just a few of our platforms that we are on. You all know that we run many missions up here. We call them missions because they are missions, believe me. We work with the mentally ill up here. We're advocates for senior citizens who are abused and neglected in this long-term care system. We help writers and poets and musicians promote themselves around the world via our live radio station and our many platforms. We're working on Project Cross Promote right now, which has been a great program. But listen, y'all, you need to focus. We all need to focus. We all need to get together and focus. Everybody's scattered out there. Many people don't seem to think we're having any kind of a problem here in America that should be dealt with in any specific and powerful collective way. People are just doing their everyday thing, their normal everyday routine, and we're not coming together as soldiers, as warriors in this battle that we are in here today. We're in a tremendous battle here today, a battle for the mind, a battle for this republic, a battle for these United States of America. We're in a battle against the globalists, against the cabal, against the mainstream media, against the bankers and Wall Street, against the Trilateral Commission and the Council on Foreign Relations and the United Nations. We're fighting all of these battles around the world, fighting battles over water, over diamonds, gold, uranium, plutonium, um, all kinds of resources. Hundreds of thousands of people are at war with each other right now, direct combat. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people are suffering. Millions and millions are depressed and stressed out, and our job here is to just try to make some sense out of all this madness. That is our mission here, is to bring everyone together, as many people as possible, and talk about these issues that affect each and every one of us, and especially our children and grandchildren and their children and grandchildren. We have a chance here to do something. We have a chance here to make a difference. We have a chance here to have an impact on all of these things, but we're not going to do it as long as we stay divided. And boy, believe me, we are divided. Let me tell you something. We are one nation, divisible. Um, and I'm not exactly sure I have all the answers to this, even though I've studied it for a long time, and I've been sitting in this seat for a long time as director and producer and host, live on air host. And I'm well studied, more than most, but I'm still lacking in answers, because this is such a complex problem that has grown completely out of control. I will always say, I know y'all are going to kill me for fidgeting with my glasses here, but that's just the way it is. Um, I know that many of you will say, oh, Facebook is a great and powerful media. It's a social media network, and that we're all coming together with our friends and family and this and that and the other, and all that's just complete bullshit. It's just complete and utter bullshit, okay? Um, those of us that are going to come together haven't come together, obviously, or I probably wouldn't even have time to be talking to you here. I'd have 150 people or so in my midst, and we would all be focusing on boycotts, and we would be targeting certain corporations to tell them to pull back the bridle and halt the horse. We're not doing that. We're doing that in our own little individual ways. We're doing that in a very fragmented way. But we're so compartmentalized and we're so divided with such thick walls between us that we're not coming together as a unit, as a collective, as a holistic kind of thing with balance and synchronicity and intent and focus and goals and objectives bearing down on our target together. We got a little tidbit here and a little tidbit there and a little post here and a little post there, a little rant here, a little bitch there, and that's not working. That's exactly what the government wants us to do and continue doing. They want us to be separated like that. They want us to be divided like that, and they want us to have this false sense of power, this false sense that we're making a difference on Facebook, which is not true in the least, because we're not focused. We're not coming together as a unit, as a military unit would come together. If you had a bunch of guys out in the field there in Afghanistan or Iraq, and they were all running around crazy in their gym shorts in the sand, one running this direction and one running that direction, and one shooting in this direction and one shooting in that direction, one back here in an old broke down Humvee and another one in a tank up there shooting off, we wouldn't make any progress. And that's exactly what's happening on Facebook. So what we're trying to do here is create a very intense and focused media where individuals of like mind can come together and bring their skills and their expertise and their wisdom to one platform, and then we can divide up into groups and go take care of some things. We are still here to cross-promote. I'm getting tired of the romance. I'm getting tired of the erotica bullshit. I'm not really wanting to promote erotica or romance. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of looking at erotica and romance. Not that I'm against it. It's not that I think I'm better than other folks or I'm somehow more moral or, ethical, but I just don't like it. It's bullshit. It's not helping the country. It's not helping Facebook. It's not helping any. The only thing that it's doing on Facebook is making the rich richer, and those are the ones who own Facebook. And it's also keeping a lot of these people tied to their seats where they're not able to get out and really do anything that powerful. So I'm here, we're here, and we're waiting for y'all to come on in, and let's get that collective group together. Let's kind of have some talks on here. We can have talks on here. We can have talks on Skype. We can even communicate on Facebook over there in the Eagle's Nest. We have my group, the Eagle's Nest, over there. And look, folks, we're doing fine. Okay, we're doing just fine. We could just drop this whole thing, close the computer screen, and say to hell with it, and we're doing fine. We're not here because we have to be here. We're not here because we really even want to be here, okay? We're here because it's necessity. We're here out of necessity. Somebody's got to do this, okay? Someone has to do this, and those of us that are fully awake, those of us that are fully aware of the fact that we're not fully awake and fully aware are the ones that need to be here trying to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. So that's why we are here. We've got a lot of jealous folks out there, jealous of the station, jealous of our ability to come on air, jealous of our ability to create our own graphics and things and do our own work and create our own platforms and networks. And that's just silliness, and those people will always be that way. They'll probably never change, and I'm not going to beat myself to death trying to get them to change. So We're looking for a chosen few out there, few good men and women who can come in and work with us on some of these projects and programs and get some measurable results. That's really what it's all about, is measurable results. We look for measurable results. And so far, I'll tell you, it's been very depressing what we've seen. It's been very, very depressing what we've seen. People are just not into this kind of thing. They're not into coming together and focusing and setting goals and objectives, working on a mission like this. Most of them are out there just playing with themselves, literally, in many cases, and just goofing around, playing around on Facebook all day. They're just immature, they're childish, and they play games, and they talk to friends and family. They're getting ready for Christmas, which is another big bullshit day that we could do without, spending hundreds of billions of dollars on gifts that just will go to end up in a garage sale somewhere, and making these corporations richer and fatter. It's not that you shouldn't get together with your family and worship. It's not that you shouldn't get together with your family and have the traditional meal. But let's all sit down and talk about what's really going on in the world today. And let's really talk about how buying all of these gifts is just not even right. It's just not right. It's just simply not right. It's making the kids that are spoiled even more spoiled. It's making the rich richer. It's feeding the killing machine in every country in the world that we're trying to drag down right now. And it's just robotic, and it's silly, and it's perverted even. It's perverted, and it's stupid. It's lame. Most of you are so far gone you cannot even imagine what I'm talking about. Most of you are so far gone you've already hung up a long time ago. But I'm telling you, we're here, we're going to stay here, we're going to be here for those of you who need us and those of you who understand what it is we're trying to do. So this is not a time for laughter and happiness and silliness and foolishness and stupidity. This is a time for sadness and mourning and seriousness. This is a time to reach out to our brothers and sisters who need us and who deserve to be lifted up off the floor. This is a time for us to come together and find ways that we can overcome these forces that are against all of us. This is a time that we should be utilizing this technology that we have to its fullest extent to bring us together as an army, as a unit of soldiers in this army to overcome these oppressors. And that is what this is all about. It's magic. We can talk about magic. It's spelling. Some of you have wanted me to talk about spells and magicians and magic and the New World Order having access to this magic. All of you have access to this magic. All of you are not going to become master magicians overnight, but you can work toward that goal. I think Jesus was a magician. Buddha was a magician. I think that, if they weren't magicians and they weren't master magicians, we wouldn't be talking about them today. They wouldn't be anything special. They would have faded into the woodwork a long time ago. So we'll be talking about that on the show tonight. I broke my ribs or cracked my ribs or mashed my ribs or did something, and my lungs hurt. I'm hardly able to walk. I'm very sick. Keep me in your thoughts. Keep me in your quantum thoughts, your prayers. I'm hurting. I'm sad. I'm been somewhat depressed lately. Anybody that has half a brain is going to be depressed or should be depressed. There's nothing abnormal about that. There's nothing abnormal about being completely just freaked out over all that's going on in the world today. So we love all of you. We really do. And I know you say, well, how can you love me? I'm on this digital network. Well, I just can't. That's wisdom. I've got some age. I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran of all of this. Been down that road, done that. So I can love you even though I'm reaching out on this digital platform of ones and zeros. We're not at the quantum computing level yet, but just hang on to your seats because we'll be there just around the corner here in 2015, 2016. So until next time, this is Kyler Davenport on YouTube, and I'll be back on YouTube talking to you all frequently now. My producers are kicking me in the pants trying to get me to do more of these, and I will. I enjoy them very, very much. And remember, this is going to Alternative Public Radio International, this video. And you can also find it, because I'm going to put it over there myself, on Kyler Davenport News Personality. That's my favorite page. But we need to start building up Alternative Public Radio International. What we're going to do with that page yet, I really don't know. My producer, Marion, is working on that. She's working diligently around the clock. She's also working on our QR codes that you can scan with your phone to get to each and every one of our pages and platforms and so forth. So we'll be talking to you all next time here on YouTube, and I hope to see some of you here on YouTube Hangouts, Google Hangouts, and I hope to see some of you in our new Skype group that we're going to attempt to set up over the next couple of weeks. So take care. See y'all later.